All right, welcome back, everybody, to the UnNamed Production Company. My name is Sam, one of two Sams in the UnNamed Production Company, so don't confuse us. I'm Sam D. I'm back with RPG A Day 2019, and I'm flying solo today, but I'm going to be taking prompt number 7, which is familiar. So I'll get into that in just a second, but before I do that, I just want to say, if you've been supporting the channel, if you've been watching us, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Please don't hesitate to interact with us. Make sure you leave comments on the video. Look us up and interact with us on Facebook. You can always reach out to me personally on Twitter at ChaliceIC. We love you guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If this is your first time, hopefully this video is helpful for you. Hopefully you enjoy the series. And please don't hesitate to interact. Just like with our subscribers and our followers, we really want to hear from you, especially with RPG A Day 2019. The whole point is to really engage the community, learn about new people, get new points of view, and just have a great time. So, with that being said, thank you so much. I'm going to roll the intro, and then let's jump into it. All right, so we're back. So prompt number 7 is the word familiar. Now, I think a bunch of people are going to take this a bunch of different ways, but the way I kind of looked at this one is I'm interpreting this prompt as something that is familiar to me. And actually, what I'm going to focus on primarily is the idea of playing as a human character in your RPG game or campaign. More specifically in a campaign, because in a one-shot, you can kind of do anything. One-shots are just that. They're one-shots. They're supposed to be kind of weird and gonzo. They're not that serious. But in a campaign, I find that I have a very hard time wrapping my head around and getting fully immersed in a character that is not somewhat familiar to me. What does that mean? So my go-to example is in a fantasy game playing an elf. I don't know what it's like to be an elf. I have read descriptions from people like J.R.R. Tolkien and many other fantasy authors that kind of give you an idea of mannerisms and culture and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm just a guy sitting either at a table or at my computer trying to portray a living, breathing character. And when I portray a character, regardless of what type of character they are, it always comes out like a human. Or at least that's how I look at it, right? An elf is just, the way I'm doing it, is just a human with pointy ears. Maybe they're a little bit more aloof. Maybe they care less about the troubles of humankind. But how are they really any different? It's the same thing with a fantasy genre. You know, we just talked about space as prompt number 5, right? And Caleb, Chess, and I both kind of mentioned our love for Star Wars. And in Star Wars, of course, you've got a huge galaxy, lots of different alien races. And in the movies and in the books and the video games, you know, they're all portrayed in a different way. But when I try to do that in a Star Wars game, it just doesn't come across as, at least to me, in my head, when I'm trying to immerse myself, it doesn't come across as anything other than human, with a different look, a different feel. So I've had a lot of feedback on this point because I've brought it up numerous times. And, you know, a lot of people, it'll range the gamut from, well, you know, maybe you just need to kind of get out of your comfort zone, or you need to get over those sort of preconceived notions, just have fun, kick back, relax. Don't try too hard. right? You've heard all of these things, I'm sure. Um, but at the end of the day, I find the most enjoyment and the most immersion when I'm playing as a human character because that is familiar to me. And I've also mentioned on numerous occasions in various social media platforms, and I believe on my YouTube channel, Chalice and Chains, that I actually prefer more low power games where if I'm playing a fantasy game, for example, I like to play maybe like OSR systems or systems where the characters aren't quite as powerful and don't have as much ability to survive and thrive and be heroic. Like some of the more modern fantasy games like 5th edition, Dragon Age, stuff like that, right? Uh, and the reason for that is because I tend to become more immersed in a game where I'm playing somebody who's maybe just a cut above the average human, the regular Joe. And maybe that's only because I have access to a sword and a shield and armor and some training, right? Or if I am playing, let's say, in a Star Wars game, I don't tend to favor games where I'm playing Jedi. I like playing games in which I play a smuggler, somebody who is just kind of a normal person, just trying to make their way in the galaxy. You know, you just want what's best. Maybe you have a family, maybe you have a crew, or you have some loyalty, right? But you're not some super powered, fighting machine that can just wreck everything in your path. Now those games can be fun, and I've played games where I was, superheroes. I've played Ninja Turtles. I've played in a Batman game. I've played X-Men, right? I've played Transformers, and numerous D&D 5th edition games where, let's be honest, you're pretty super heroic. And none of those things felt familiar to me. But most of the time when I play a sci-fi game, sci-fi tends to be about humans exploring space and living life in this great big galaxy with all of these things that maybe bring into question what their humanity is, right? And in fantasy, my most enjoyable characters are the ones in which I am portraying a human that has very human concerns and that isn't going to just rush into a fight or rush into danger, because I could very easily and quickly get injured or killed. So I would love to hear what you guys think on this topic, both as, playing humans and whether or not, familiar makes sense in this case. Do you like playing other races specifically because for you that is more fun? Or do you like playing humans? Also, I would love to hear what your interpretation was of prompt number 7. Whether you've done a video, a blog, an art piece, even a live stream on social media. If you can, go ahead and leave a comment in the description below with a link to the video or where we can find how you're participating, because we very much want to interact with you here at the UnNamed Production Company. Check us out on Facebook as well. Our community is all about helping gamers to kind of level up their live streams or level up their presentation in a game, either to their group or if it's a broadcast game on YouTube, on Twitch, whatever. We have a lot of skills and expertise in that area and a great group of people that are all willing to help. So check us out. And happy RPG a Day 2019. Take care.
Hello there. Welcome to the UnNamed Production Company. I'm Caleb. I'm back. Today I'm going to be doing prompts 8 and 9. Okay. Prompt 8 is obscure. And there's a couple different ways you can go with this. I'm going the route with I'm going to showcase two what I perceive as obscure games, because there's not much online about them and I don't see a lot of people play with them. Like in groups, I never see people post. Oh, sorry there. Um, the first game I'm going to showcase is from Eden Studios. It's actually one of my personal favorites. Witchcraft. Now the PDF of this is free on DriveThruRPG. Yes, the PDF is free. So you can go get it now if you want. This uses the Unisystem. I'm not sure Eden Studios is still around actually, but the Unisystem is kind of similar to Savage Worlds because there's a target number you're supposed to hit, and it uses a I can't remember if it uses the D20 now, but it uses a lot of the other dice, and you have to hit a target number. Kind of similar to Savage Worlds, different enough that it's not a copycat. Um, but Witchcraft is, I mean, the title kind of gives it away. It's a modern day dark fantasy horror game where he plays witches or warlocks. Very similar to Mage the Ascension from the World of Darkness, except this one's more darker and more kind of horrific. This is more paganism, more demons, more monsters, kind of on that scale. Typically play as humans. There's three you can be. There's the gifted, which pretty much you're a warlock or a witch. You have the full length of powers, but that makes you like a target for all the evil forces. There's the lesser gifted, which gives you a couple magic tricks, not quite a target, but you have more skills. Or you can be a regular human, which I actually tell you it might not be the best because one, you can't really fight these things. Two, you might not even be able to see them. But it's a game that I've been wanting to play in. I've run it before once. Um, I had fun, but that's a game I want to play in. But I never see anything post about this. But once again, it's Witchcraft. Second game that I think is obscure. This one's maybe not as obscure. A lot of people my age, late 30s, if you've been gaming for a while, probably know about this one. Look at the glare. Slay Industries. This is actually the back has the best. The role-playing game of futuristic urban horror. The closest game I can compare this to is, believe it or not, is Paranoia, because the planet is Mort. The whole planet is a city, and you play as the operatives for Mr. Slayer, and you go troubleshoot. You become the like media darlings. You're like the people love you, even though you're sanctioned to go become a serial killer to kill other serial killers, or there's a protest. You're to take out the protest with extreme prejudice. You become the media hero. So it's got that kind of cynicism that Paranoia has, but this has like actual like monsters in it, and let me show you some of the artwork. It came out in the 90s. It's firmly rooted in the 90s. Yeah, this actual book has a ton of art in it. I mean, this is the standard. You can tell just by looking at it. It comes right from the 90s. So futuristic urban horror. This is another one. I've never actually ran or played this. This uses... Actually, I don't know what the name of the system is, but it's pretty much D10. You roll 2d10 plus any modifiers. You try to hit a target number. So similar to a lot of other systems, but I think it's only for that game. But that's another game I would just like to see more exposure to. And I never see people advertise running these games. So if anyone wants to run them, I'll gladly be a player. Or I can set up games of these too. But for me, obscure, it just came to games that I like and know about, but I never see people post about it. Not much on YouTube. I never see games run about these. So for me, it was Slay Industries and Witchcraft. All right, prompt number 9. Prompt number 9 is critical. Now, I had a tough time coming up with something for this because critical, I mean, as a gamer, automatically think of critical hits. I kind of didn't want to go there for some reason. So I went with pretty much the phrase, don't be critical of what other people play. And there's a reason for this, and there's a little story behind it. Go back to Gen Con 2010. That was my first Gen Con ever. Um, this is back. This is interesting time in gaming. This is back. Pathfinder and Fourth Edition had both been out for a couple years. I believe Pathfinder was starting to outsell them. World of Darkness was pretty dormant at this point. The Star Wars franchise, I think Saga Edition was the current one, but they were kind of ended, and the Lice Fantasy Flight hadn't gotten it yet. So a lot of the big franchises were kind of in flux. But Pathfinder and 4E were out when anyone who was around that point knows this is going to be about the Edition Wars. So at that point in time, I was heavily invested in a Pathfinder. I was playing in a Pathfinder campaign, and pretty much the group I went with, that's the group I went to Gen Con with, and we were going to play in a lot of the Pathfinder Society games there. And my first Gen Con was pretty much almost all just Pathfinder Society, 3 or 4 games a day. It was pretty fun, but I'll never forget the local whatever hotel we stayed at. I got in an elevator, and another guy came in. And he asked, "Oh yeah, you here for the con, Gen Con?" I said, "Oh yeah." "What you playing? Like, what's your main game?" I says, "Oh yeah, I'm playing Pathfinder." And all the color and just came out of his face, and his eyes were daggers at me. He just looked at me and went, "Really?" Okay, I'm kind of confused at this point. So I say, "Yeah." He says, "You're one of those?" I'm confused as hell right now, but I'm kind of getting irritated. So I just kind of look at him like, "Yeah, I'm one of those. I don't really know what you mean, but yeah." His finger comes out, not in my face, because he would have gotten punched. He would have gotten punched if he had his finger in my face. I'm sorry. His finger was up, and he's getting aggressive. He says, "You're the reason why this industry is failing." I says, "This additional one that's going on, the split between the community." I says, "It's split. It's killing the hobby." And he's going on, literally, he's going on and on about it. He's repeating a lot of the same stuff, and he's getting louder and louder. I just start like looking around. I'm like, what in the hell did I just get myself into? And luckily, he only went up like 1 or 2 floors, and he got off. And I can still hear him going down the hallway. He's still like going on his tangent. So I go up another. I think I was only like 1 floor up. I'm kind of shell shocked at this point. I'm like, what in the hell just happened? And I was like, I just got verbally attacked for playing Pathfinder because I didn't want to play 4th edition. And to me, who cares? I'm still playing. I'm still gaming. Does it really? Does it? Why do you care what I play? If I don't know you, if I'm not your GM, I'm not playing the game. What do you really care what I play? But I got this. This was a big eye opener for me. And that's when I kind of saw the hobby was it was an edition war going on. It was very between Pathfinder and 4E. It was kind of nasty. It got nasty a lot of times. Now I'm just curious now that Pathfinder 2nd edition just came out like a week ago with 5th edition. I don't know. Is that gonna? I don't think it's. It doesn't seem to be. The field doesn't seem to be as tense for some reason. But I'm just like brought back a lot of memories of what happened back then. I'm like, Pathfinder 2nd edition coming out, 5th edition out. Is that gonna start a whole new edition war? I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't think so, but I don't know. But that's kind of why I picked it. Don't be critical of what other people play. Play what you want. Be happy with what you play. Don't let other people tell you to play something or that you should be playing this. Play what you want. Run what you want. Do what you want in the hobby. Just don't be critical of what other people play, even if it's not a game that you like. So that ends it for me. It's for prompts 8 and 9. So
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comments section below. We love those. We try to answer every single one of them. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And don't forget to click that bell notification icon so that you will get notified when new videos are posted. Stay tuned the rest of this month. We will be doing the rest of these prompts. Now, it could be a number of us, but we plan to get all 31 done. So, happy gaming, everyone, and happy RPG A Day 2019. Take care.